I'm here at the very old depot in downtown Burlington. This train depot dates back to the 1800s, and I'm waiting on the guy that runs the place to come, and he's gonna show us around.
This building was built around 1906 after the original wooden depot in Burlington was destroyed by fire. The building was across the street about 150 yards and then was moved to its present location in 1977 as part of an urban renewal project in downtown Burlington. The project itself was an abject failure, but this building has succeeded in staying here for 42 years. We are run by the Department of Recreation and Parks for the City of Burlington, and groups and individuals can rent this facility for everything from weddings to plays to concerts. We've even had church services here with double dipping baptisms when people brought in their own baptismal fonts. It gets a lot of use during the summertime when the Recreation Department has its fourth Fridays. And it's just a building that people have really come to embrace. I have had, since the first of this year, 3 mothers and or daughters come in who the mother was married here, and now the daughter wants to get married here. So it's kind of a generational thing. There's some controversy. People have talked about wanting to move it and open up Main Street again. That's way above my pay grade. I'll just say that this is a building that for 2 generations, people in Burlington have known nothing but the fact that the depot has sat here under these beautiful oak trees, and we hope it's going to continue to be used for a long time. The actual interior is made up of the mural of the first 100 years of Burlington's incorporation, starting when we were company shops of the North Carolina Railroad, hence Company Shops North Carolina was our name. That was in the 1850s. The railroads moved out in the 1880s. We became a textile town. Western Electric moved in. We've had all kinds of changes in Burlington, and that's depicted on this mural done by Rodney Moser, a local art instructor. And it pretty much tells the history of the town up through 1993, the first 100 years of Burlington's incorporation. And we give a lot of tour groups to the chance to come in and learn about the city through that.
And I see, is that the serial killer Blanche Moore?
That is Blanche Taylor Moore. There are some people who were a little bit offended by the fact that
she was added.
She was on this, but on the depot mural.
But she's a part of the history.
It's part of the history. Half of the story is a lie. So if you only tell half of it, you got to tell all the history of the town. And there's some very commendable things about Burlington, but there were some tough things too, and you got to include that.
Yeah. She poisoned a few of her boyfriends and husbands. Yeah. And they went back and exhumed her dad and think that she may have poisoned him and some other people.
They dug up enough graves around here to look like the backside of the moon. It was a pretty extensive investigation.
Yeah, it was. Then Elizabeth Montgomery portrayed her in a movie, Black Widow, in 1993.
One of the Carradine guys also was in there.
Yeah, Robert Carradine, I believe.
But anyhow, it's there's some interesting aspects. Elvis Presley's visit in 1956.
There's Elvis right there. Yeah, he played at Williams High School, right?
You could get in for $1 in advance and $1.25 at the door. There's interesting aspects to when Western Electric was here in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. You can see the Nike missile up there next to the ABC store.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
If we had ever gone to war with the Russians, Burlington would still be a radioactive pile of smoldering debris.
And as I see Cum Park Plaza, as teenagers, we used to hang out there. That and Holly Hill Mall.
That's it. Yep. Sure.
Is Holly Hill Mall depicted on this anywhere?
No, it's not. It's
That's kind of sad.
I don't believe it is. Should have been. But
oh, there it is, yeah. Yeah, I just missed it. That's cool. My two places.
Sometimes you lose it.
Yeah.
And you can actually see the depiction of the moving of the depot, which occurred in 1977.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see that right there, everyone. Yeah, that is really awesome, though. And there's the moon landing.
Yeah, some of the stuff obviously didn't happen in Burlington, but Roger included those things in there to give a timeline to kind of give
exactly.
the Vietnam stuff like that.
And this, obviously, what I'm looking at now is the civil rights movement.
This is the 50th anniversary of the riots in Burlington.
Okay. So that was this is the depiction of downtown Burlington riots right here.
Well, actually, they were in Burlington. It was mostly in the African American sections of Broad and Apple Street, where almost the entire African American business community was wiped out.
Oh man, and I see the fires to the building and all that.
Yeah.
And there's I assume that Bulldog is for Williams High. Yeah, that's definitely Williams. My granddad graduated from Williams.
Yeah.
He sure did. And
of course, Jordan Sellers was the African American high school. They were noted for great academics, great athletics, and the best high school band. Some people have compared their high school band to the A&T band.
Oh yeah, I've heard that they're good.
They were an amazing group.
I have heard that they're good. And then over here we have the...
there was actually a trolley system that ran in Burlington. It ran to Elon, Haw River, and Graham. And for a nickel, you could ride the trolley car in to work and then go back out. That's why we have some of the textile plants were actually downtown.
And this would have been early 20th century, yeah. I used to go to a lot of Burlington Indians games in the early 90s, and I didn't talk about that, which they're now the Burlington Royals, the Kansas City owns them now.
Yeah, sure enough.
And
we're affiliated with them, yes.
And Cummings, this is when Cummings High School won its state title. That's the other high school in Burlington. But this is... The guy did a really awesome job on this.
Yeah, Rodney was trained as a medical artist, and so he did most of the human depictions, and he was assisted by William Coakley and the late Mary Jane Lindley doing the rest of it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The Burlington Bees, that was an old-timey, I think that was an old team, right?
Semi-pro team in the 30s, 40s, and early 50s.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ted Williams actually hit a home run in the Hillcrest School baseball field when he was with Navy pre-flight in Chapel Hill.
Oh, I want you to shed some light too. Isn't there a depiction? Is that the gangster that robbed the bank in Burlington?
Actually, no. This is
that is
a depiction of the fact that there was labor strife in Burlington during the 30s. Nowhere near as bad as in places like Shelby and Marion and Gastonia, where lots of people lost their lives.
Yeah.
There was a book written by Doug Marlette about his grandmother, who was a labor organizer. And was actually bayoneted by a North Carolina National Guardsman during the labor strife here.
Wow.
Fortunately, the textile owners and stuff like that were a little bit more enlightened and a little more open-minded than some of the folks the other textile workers had to deal with. So Burlington did not have the really serious problems that they did.
Okay. But wasn't I thought there was some sort of a robber that was a part of the mural that I thought that somebody did it, because I thought I saw some sort of a...
You may be talking about Coley Kane. Coley is not memorialized here, but he did have a one-man crime wave in the summer of 1936 here in Burlington.
And what was his name?
Coley Kane. He had gotten out of prison, heard there were easy pickings in Alamance County. He operated out of Burlington, but he only robbed the bootleggers that operated in the county.
Okay.
Get back in the city because the city cops hated the sheriff's department and they wouldn't turn him over. So Coley could be walking the streets and go to the Paramount Theater and that night robbing some bootlegger out in the county.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was a one-man crime wave there.
Okay. I thank you so much for showing me this. This is really, really neat and really something everyone should come see that's from this area.
We were trying to figure out how to...
Oh, Copeland Mills.
Yeah, that out in the county is I had several relatives that work there.
Okay, I've done some videos on it.
Yeah.
On the Copeland area.
The A21 trainer, Fairchild trainer, was built here in Burlington, mostly by women out at the old Fairchild facility, which later became Western Electric.
Okay.
I never saw combat. It was a trainer. It was made out of plywood, and most of the people that worked on it were women.
Really?
Because of the high-tech aspect of the wiring and navigation that they had to put in, that's why we got Western Electric.
Okay.
In the 40s and 50s.
Who was the woman right there in the circle?
That's Miss Eva Wiseman, and she was a music educator here from the 1930s up through, I believe, the 60s at least. She formed what was called the Rotary Boys Choir, which is now the Burlington Boys Choir. They just celebrated their 60th anniversary. She was one of the reasons why Burlington was the home to so many great beach bands during the 60s and 70s. These guys got musical training and singing training in the Rotary Boys Choir.
Okay.
So she was quite an institution.
And these, I assume these are probably maybe the original pews and the...
I'm not sure about that. I do know that the baggage cart there, the scales over there.
Yeah.
Those are original. And this was the Ticketmaster's booth, desk, I guess you could say. And this is where you buy your tickets. It was located actually in here.
Okay.
But that's
yeah. Well, that's awesome. But thank you for everything. And I'm going to get some of the outside of the place, and I'll let you go about what you're doing. And thank you for coming. I appreciate you joining me. That was really nice of Dave to come and open this place for me, and and talk to me about the history of Burlington, the first 100 years of history, and all the different people that were important that made the history of the town, whatnot. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.